Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. Something I've never tried before, and that is stencils. I'm going to be using these plastic window stencils along with some white acrylic paint, and I'm going to be creating some Jesmonite coasters, which I think would be worthy of Christmas fairs because I love them so much. So I mixed up my Jesmonite in a different way this time, and I actually used the sieve to sieve my powder before adding it to the mix. This was a recommendation given to me by one of you guys a couple of videos back, and oh my gosh, rather creamy Jesmonite. I absolutely loved it. Now I'm going to be using the colours that were sent to me by Homeware Design. Now again, I wasn't sponsored to do a video on these. They were sent to me to try out, and I absolutely fell in love with them. I will link the video here if you missed it. I'm going to be using Zen Green and Willow in the first coaster. Now here's the thing, I'm only making one, and I figured if I make one and it works, then I'll make another one. If I make one and it's a complete disaster, then we will all learn together what to do and what not to do, and whether this works or not. So first up, I added some Zen Green, and then I added some of the Willow colour to kind of bring it more into the green that I was looking for. And don't do this. These little bottles come with, of course they all come with this little white bit around them, and yeah, mine fell in. But no biggie, I just grabbed some tweezers and took it out. Once I was happy with my green shade, my green colour, then it was time to pour. Now, this coaster mould is from Moulds and Shapes, as it said on the screen earlier, and I do have a 5% discount for anyone who wishes to shop at Moulds and Shapes online. I love their moulds. This is their round coaster mould, and honestly, it's my favourite coaster mould. It really is. It's so versatile and you can do so much with it. I did make a little bit too much Jesmonite, but that's okay. Here we are. We've got a beautiful kind of natural, more organic green. It's not like bright green in your face green. I really love it. Now, you can use any method to do this. You can use sticky stencils like you would find for polymer clay. You can get ones that are a little bit adhesive. Also, you could use your vinyl, you could use your Cricut, but I really wanted to do this without the Cricut. And actually the results are, what I would say, so much more organic and handmade looking than they would be if you used a Cricut. So for me, I was using a kitchen sponge, a good old Tesco cheap kitchen sponge scourer, but I was using the sponge section. You could of course use a sponge dabber, you know, the actual round flat head dabbers. I think they would be a lot better for this project, but I don't have any, and yeah, I wasn't going to go and buy some. I just really wanted to try it with the sponges that I had, with the things that I had already. And the trickiest part for me was just working out how to hold the stencil, because there was a lot of lifting. There was a lot of lifting up and down of this stencil. There wasn't movement like left to right, but look at this. I absolutely love it. It is not crisp or clean in any way. If you did this with an adhesive stencil, or if you did this with Cricut vinyl, it would be a lot more graphic, very bold. But with this kind of window stencil that's designed for snow spray, you're almost getting like a hint, like a wispy, really organic kind of feel. I don't have the words. I must start reading the dictionary. Organic and handmade is the feel that I'm getting, and I'm really loving how it's kind of bolder in some places and a little bit more faded towards the edges. It really gives it that kind of magical, mystical feel, and I'm really happy. Like, there are some splodges, and of course you can go and tidy it up with a cotton bud, but so far so good. Now, bearing in mind these stencils are designed for windows, they're quite thick plastic. I think if you had thinner ones it might be easier, but for me, I really like this one, and I'm really not even bothered that some have come out really bold and white, whilst others are just a little bit faded into the background, like there's a hint of a snowflake. I'm so loving it. Now you could see, I could totally imagine this as a pack of 2 or a pack of 4 in all of the colours at a Christmas market, wrapped up with a ribbon. I think they would be absolutely beautiful. Now, I learned a few things from this one. I learned that I really need to work on how I'm holding the stencil. So I did go ahead and make a red, and I am using the red pigment from Jesmonite, but similar to previous videos, it's a bit too red. So I'm adding in some latte from Homeware Design just to darken that red up a bit. Give me more of like a moody kind of red for my red coaster. And I'm pouring it in, as I always do, making sure that as minimal air bubbles get trapped around that edge as possible. Now, the beauty of making these is that when you pour Jesmonite, you usually have to tap your mould. You can really tap your mould because it's just one block colour. I did have leftover Jesmonite, and look at this little guy. I made them last year on my channel, if you remember that mould by Jello Mellow. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay. Now for the red coaster. Now, if you're wondering if I leave these to cure overnight before painting, no, I don't. You absolutely could. I don't have the patience to do that, and I figured a little bit of acrylic paint won't hurt. Now, I was thinking I could tape my stencil down to keep it in place, but it's raising in the middle. If I put pressure on either side, then it's actually creating a huge gap between the stencil and the Jesmonite. So I figured my best way forward would just be to actually pin the stencil down. So as soon as I start kind of dabbing the paint in, I'm just gonna move my hands backwards slowly. And yeah, at the beginning with the green one, I was conscious of where I was holding my hand, but it really didn't matter. It didn't matter if you're holding it over the holes, you know, it didn't matter. So the best way forward for me, I thought, was to just hold the whole stencil down with the majority of my hand, and then, you know, use my sponge to dab the paint on to all of those stencil gaps whilst slowly moving my hand back. It was a little bit tricky, but totally worth it. Now, like I said, you can use your vinyl Cricut, your silhouette Cricut, guys, your Cricut or your silhouette or any cutting machine that you have to cut these out, but it really would give you a different effect. It would give you a really bold block colour, very graphic, detailed effect, and almost shop bought. But these are screaming hand painted, handmade with love, not perfection. And to me, I know full well if I saw these at a Christmas fair, I would be the first customer because they're just so pretty in their own way. And I absolutely love the red and green. The hardest bit really was this last teeny tiny little section and having to hold the stencil that's already been painted, and it is a messy one. I love messy, you know, are you even a crafter if you don't get messy? And look at this, so much cleaner. I love it so much. Oh my gosh, the snowflakes against the red, it pops, they pop, absolutely love them. Now what I did do was grab a cotton bud and just give the center of this huge snowflake a wipe, because I'm pretty sure the stencil itself has a gap there, but the paint pretty much seeped in and under and covered it up. But you can do as you wish. You can kind of customize it, make holes where there were no holes, but how crisp does that red one look compared to the green? Having said that, I love the green. I love the elements of kind of faded paint and barely there paint, whilst some paint is really strong. And yeah, there was a little gap on the red one that was bugging me. I had a gap. I needed to fill that gap. So I just went in right at the end and added a teeny tiny snowflake. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, of course, Jesmonite is acrylic based, and this paint is acrylic paint, which means the sealer, which is an acrylic sealer, will work. Now this is the next day. You do need to leave it 24 hours before sealing, and I am using the Jesmonite acrylic sealer. Just to let you all know, there is a brand new Jesmonite acrylic sealer on the market, sold by Jesmonite, made by Jesmonite. It is a new formula. It is available at your Jesmonite stockists. I have not got my hands on any yet, but I plan on buying some very soon from Polysil, which is really exciting for the Jesmonite community, because I know I've had this acrylic sealer for ages, but there is now a new one on the market because they withdrew this one and created a new formula. Anyway, if you've been with me a while, if you know much about Jesmonite, this is the first coat of sealer. They recommend 2 coats. This first coat is diluted with water, and it's like 20% water to 80% Jesmonite sealer, I think. Don't quote me on it. It's been so long. It has been so long. But look at these, guys. I absolutely love them. I can imagine these with a cork base sitting together in a little stack of coasters with a red and white candy cane ribbon around them with a little kind of brown cardboard tag. Perfect for Christmas markets. I'm sorry, what? That sealer is going to seal that acrylic paint in so you don't have to worry. And this sealer is also heat proof. I've run several tests and those videos are also on my channel. Let me know your thoughts. I love the fact that I've done this with a stencil. So you do not need a Cricut, you do not need a silhouette, you do not need anything else. But like I say, you can find kind of thinner stencils that are really designed for things like polymer clay. You can also, you know, find adhesive stencils that will actually stick to the surface, giving you more of a crisp finish. If that's the finish you want, then I would fully recommend making your own stencil on your Cricut or a silhouette or anything like that. But I love the organic feeling of these. I love the fact that they look airbrushed. They look like they've been handmade. Does that make sense? Handmade with love and not perfection. Let me know which colour you prefer. I love the green for its natural feels. The red is definitely more crisp, and those snowflakes definitely came through because I spent more time working out how to hold that stencil down. But you know what? This is not about coasters. This is not about anything other than inspiration for your future projects. Anything that you feel like you might be making this year with Jesmonite, grab the stencils. Because guys, how gorgeous would this look? You know the reindeer mold in the last video? Thank you so much for the love on that, by the way. If you're still here 12 minutes in, then you can hear me. You can hear what I'm saying. But they would be absolutely gorgeous in Jesmonite. I did try, but the antlers broke, unfortunately. I've not managed to demold one yet all in one piece. So it might not be possible. However, I'm thinking, do the antlers in resin, do the body in Jesmonite, and then you put snowflakes all over the body. How gorgeous would that be? Anyway, I'm rambling on. I hope you've really enjoyed this, and I hope you found a little bit of inspiration from it to take from it what you will moving forward with your projects. Stencils work, if a little bit fiddly, if a little bit messy, but they work and they give you this gorgeous handmade feel, and that is what is most important for me. I really appreciate you all, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.
The wonders of life got the prettiest side for everyone to enjoy. Standing up close by the Christmas tree, glimmering light, I am right where I wanna be. I will be home for a couple of days, wander around with you. You and me in the cold, thought it'd never be true. Wherever I go, I got you. Oh, I have stopped running, there is no way trying. You better loosen your belt. Drinking hot wine by the fire, don't care of anything else. It's Christmas, and some kind of love, my friend. I'll pray it will never end. Do you like to be here too? It's Christmas, and outside snow's glistening. It's just you and me tonight. I'll spend all this Christmas with you. Oh, it's such a charm, got you up in my arm. There's nobody at the door. You said I wish this will never be over. Darling, it's time for your present. Come over here. Now it is time to get out in the snow, lighting a light with you. Choirs will sing and the joy bells will ring. nobody loves you as much as I do. It's a wonderful feeling from floor to the ceiling. It is that time of the year, drinking hot wine by the fire. Here on our own, we got nothing to fear. It's Christmas and some kind of love, my friend. Pick up some candy canes and hang a wreath on your door. It's Christmas and outside snow's glistening. It's just you and me tonight. It's just you and me tonight. It's just you and me tonight. I'll spend all this Christmas with you.